Hey guys, what's up? I am Snappy J, and this is my thought of the day, Sunday, as always. I am joined by some of my friends on the couch. We just went for a walk, so we are very tired. So this is going to be a lazy vlog. I'm going to sit here and going to talk at you, and you will listen, hopefully. If not, that's okay. Just let it go.
I'm not listening.
He's not listening. He's going to sleep. I might fall asleep in the middle, so if I just drift off, don't worry about it. I'll be back in a minute. So if you don't know, haven't listened to our podcasts and stuff, Jeff and I love Majora's Mask a lot, like probably too much, but it's a great game and we really like it, and we love the character development that they do in the game. There's so much more involved with the story, I guess, not necessarily with the main story with the conflict, but with the side characters and just developing them as people and everything, and learning about their lives and stuff and helping them out. And if you don't know, that game takes place in a different world other than Hyrule, which is the main land of the series. And it takes place in the land of Termina, and they're going through this problem where the moon is going to fall in 3 days, and Link has to save it by destroying or defeating Majora's Mask, which is the main villain in the game, worn by the Skull Kid from Ocarina of Time. But what I would love to see is more done with that world and just kind of that style of play, I guess, with so many side quests and so much more stuff to do, and just learning about the characters more, because I really enjoyed seeing these people and their lives and like getting to know like their daily routines and stuff. It was really interesting just to track them all down and like look through, because you had your bomber's notebook, which kind of you wrote down all of the problems that people were having, so that you could figure out, okay, I need to help this person, and this person out with whatever their problems were, and to varying degrees of difficulty. Where one of them took place over all 3 days and took, I think you had to go through like a couple cycles of the 3-day cycle in order to get it done. But I really want to see more done with this, I guess, the extended universe, quote unquote, of Termina, just because I feel like there's so much more like lore and stuff that they can explore there. That kind of rhymed. But because like there's like the 4 kind of provinces, I guess you can call it. There's like Icona Canyon, there's Great Bay, which is like kind of the water where all the Zoras live, and then there's the Southern Swamp, which is where all the Deku live, and then the Snowhead Temple area, which is where all the Gorons live. And there's so much interesting, I guess, culture, like with all of these different races and stuff there. And especially with Icona Canyon, I think, because there's like this ancient race that lived there, and it's like all ruins at the time of Majora's Mask. And it could be interesting to see, I don't know, maybe before all that happened, and like just kind of see, I guess, what all took place between, because they always talk about some sort of great war that happened before, hundreds of thousands or whatever years before that. And there's the king that lives, like, it's like the undead king that lives there when you go there. It'd just be interesting to see like what kind of took place there, and like the kind of the purpose of Stone Tower Temple and everything, because there's like all this kind of mythology behind it, and I think it'd be interesting to explore. And another thing that I really enjoyed was, because there's like all these kind of like this undertone of like this rivalry between the fierce deity, which is this mask that you get by giving up all of the masks in the game, except for the transformation masks, to the moon children on the moon. When you get there at the end of the game, you get this fierce deity mask, which is supposedly this legendary mask of this great warrior from long ago or whatever. But Majora, when he gives it to you, says that it's he's like, oh, let's play like good guys and bad guys, and I'll be the good guy. And so like they have like this history, I guess, or like this implied history, I guess, where they had some sort of conflict in the past where, I don't know what it was. We don't really know what it was. It's just like kind of hinted at. So you don't really understand it. And I'd like to see more of that, I guess. I just want to understand it more and just kind of explore what that relationship was. And I think that it could be interesting more beyond just kind of the Link Ganondorf type conflict where it's, clear good guys and bad guys and everything, whereas it seems like Majora's Mask and the fierce deity, seem to have a little less of a clear-cut, black and white, good-bad type of thing going on there. And it could be interesting to explore that and kind of more of a, I don't know, maybe they were friends at some point and something went wrong or, whatever. I think it could be really cool to explore that. But I also don't want them to go, like, super, super in-depth with it, because I think that leaving some of that up to your imagination or interpretation I think is really cool, too. Because I think that there can be something said for that where, explicitly stating everything just doesn't really do justice. And, yeah, I really enjoyed Majora's Mask, if you don't know. Because we talk about it all the time in probably everything we do, and I'm sorry if you're tired of it, but this is just one of the things that I've been thinking about for a while, and I feel like there's so much more to Majora's Mask than some of the other games, just in its message, its themes, and just because it's so much darker than the other games. It deals so much more with, like, I guess, death. Like, there's a lot of kind of weirdness to it, and just like the way that kind of the architecture is, and the color palette especially. I think there's a lot of darker kind of purples and stuff like that with it, and the music and everything. It's just a really interesting and intriguing game, and I really want to see them go more into that, because I feel like they've kind of slipped into this complacency with the series sometimes, where it's kind of the same, it's very samey. And they tried to do it with Skyward Sword, and it kind of didn't work out so much. Like, it's a very good game, and I really enjoyed it. I just don't feel like that they really broke that pattern as well as they, I guess, hoped and sought out to do. And I think that they kind of realized that with the Nintendo Direct a couple of weeks ago, I think, where Onuma talked about that and how they wanted to break that pattern of when you complete a dungeon, like the dungeons aren't completed in an order, and maybe you don't play it by yourself. Maybe there's some sort of connectivity with other players. Hopefully they won't do some sort of crazy multiplayer, because every game doesn't need multiplayer. But yeah, I really want to see them break out from this mold and actually do something different. And I think that the Land of Termina is a great place to do that from, and they can really break it out and do something different. So.
Maybe like a Skyrim style.
Yeah. Skyrim style could be pretty cool. I think that I want them to have a little bit, still like have like a story to it. Because Skyrim has a story, but I never cared about the story in Skyrim, which is I think why I haven't played it as much. And so I don't know, because I always, in Skyrim, I just hey, I'm just going to wander around and do my own thing, and I don't really care what happens in the story, and so, I just kind of do my own thing.
Certainly. And, some open-ended relationship
yeah,
exploring.
Exactly, yeah. I want to have more open-endedness, and, because Twilight Princess is a great example of this. The field was huge and, vast, and there was so much to explore, but nothing to explore, if you know what I mean. There was so much there, but there wasn't enough. It wasn't. Sorry, Satara, that you're in the picture. Don't look.
I'm very excited to be part of this.
Yeah, I want there to be more to explore, and their little dungeons and stuff, like the Cave of Ordeals, where you can go in and have so much more of a challenge there, and more stuff to do, more side quests. I love side quests, stuff that you don't have to do. Yeah, it's fun, and I like it, and I want them to do that. I hope. Beyond hope that they will. But, it's Nintendo, so who knows what'll happen. I'm sure that they will do something, and that we will cry foul when we first see it, and a couple of years will pass, and we will say that it's amazing, like we did with Wind Waker, like we did with Twilight Princess, and like we will do with Skyward Sword, because it always happens. Because, people didn't like Majora's Mask for the longest time, and now everyone loves it. It's funny that it happens like this, but it just does, because when it first comes out, every Zelda is kind of different from the last. They have the same formula and everything, but they are different in the way they look, in the way that they play. There's fundamental gameplay differences with Masks in Majora's Mask, time travel in Ocarina of Time, sailing in Wind Waker, the art style in Wind Waker. Obviously, everyone hated that when they first saw it and thought it was going to ruin it to Kitty, and everybody loves it now, so everybody kind of eats their words. But someday, in a couple of years, we will get probably a couple of years. I don't know how long it's going to take them to finish the new Zelda game, but I hope, Nintendo, if you're watching, because I know you are, listen to my words. Anyways, thanks guys for sticking around for 10 minutes, listening to me talk. Let me know what you think. I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you want to see something more like Majora's Mask? Do you want to look at that, mythos of that series or that game? I don't know. Delve into that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Let me know. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who's to say? Austin?
I don't know.
He doesn't know either. So, no one really knows. Anyways, thanks guys. That's my thought of the day. I'm Snappy J, and press end to end.